Pain doesn't predict your future. Let's rap about it.
This is Bars at Work, where leadership and personal development meets hip hop.
Let's go.
Be mindful of the minefield that's in your mind. These times are filled with pain, but that don't predict your odds.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Very relevant to this new time that we live in. That's a very strong, futuristic, prophetic type of a statement. Talk about it.
Yeah, honestly, this was done some time ago. So before COVID and everything that's going on right now. And when you think about it, these times are filled with pain. And quite honestly, whether it was pre-COVID, post-COVID, there's always going to be some times of pain and suffering and things that go on in the world or in our personal lives. But again, it's that mindset to say it doesn't necessarily predict your odds. It could impact you in the moment. It could, hinder some progress in the moment. But if you look at the big picture, it doesn't necessarily predict things because the future is still yet to be told, right?
Yeah.
And so I really think it's just another, reference to this idea of having a mindset towards reframing, having a positive outlook, and embracing that life, professional life, work life, all of these areas of our experience will have some level of conflict and adversity. And so having that frame of mind is so important because we think that, hey, everything needs to be roses, smooth sailing, smooth pave, and that's just not how life is.
I think it's also, man, just the idea behind being able to embrace the pain and talk about working out or anything that's going to get you good results. It's going to be some pain involved. Mm-hmm. But if it's a new pain that you've never felt before, the body's natural response to some type of new pain is panic, right? That's our nervous system is like, hey, warning, something's going on in this area, and if you don't pay attention to it, something's going to be destroyed or something's going to not be able to be repaired. And I think in our mind, we have that same type of response. It's like we face some opposition or some problem. It's like, hey, wait a minute, this disaster is coming. I got to stop what I'm doing and do something different. You have to train yourself to know, okay, I have to press past that because of what's on the other side. And that takes intentionality and that takes some experiences. Everybody doesn't just naturally have that.
Exactly. And one of the ways that we develop it, again, going back to the mind, I say in the words here, the mind, be mindful of the mind field that's in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's just mindfulness, reflection, being aware of yourself. These are leadership qualities that I think anybody needs to develop in their lives and personally too. Take that reflective walk. Take a few moments to understand, how am I feeling today?
Yeah.
What did I say to myself today?
Man, a great point is also about the minefields. Yeah. How did so I'm thinking now, you got me going. Landmines, right? I think military one. Who planted those landmines in your mind? Were these experiences that you went through in life? Was it something maybe that was some feedback that was given to you in a professional environment or something in your personal life? Was it something from growing up that you was planted about something that you can't do and it's just in the back of your mind? And then when you walk into a situation where it's triggered by stepping on that landfill in your mind, you blow up and now you can no longer function. Man, that's a powerful analogy.
Yeah, it's absolutely true that I think there are triggers and there are experiences that scar people. I mean, we're all human. We all have vulnerabilities, and whether it be an upbringing with parents or a life situation, you may have had some experiences that now have framed your mind that if this happens, I know it's got to be a negative outcome. Or if this happens, oh, I'm in my scared place now. I'm in my fearful place now. And it's really important to treat things in a non-predictive way at times and say, I know it's happened before, but in this situation, there could be other possibilities, and I'm going to reframe and continue to persist. So it's absolutely true. Now, Angela brings up in her research this idea of the underdog, and there's that trigger too, where when someone says you can't do something, there's some of us that step up and say, well, you know what? I'm going to show you, right?
Yeah.
And I have my Eagles mug today. So the underdogs of all underdogs, the Eagles, everyone said they could never win. They won't win. They will never win. And look what they did. They brought home a Super Bowl. So it's just one of those, examples of grit, resiliency, and that underdog mentality actually does have a motivational factor for people.
Yeah, it absolutely does.